I'm curious what you guys think, because I'm not obviously inside the culture like that, so I'm not going to speak on it. But I noticed the killing of Takeoff from the Migos. I've been really kind of surprised, like how strong the no snitch culture is. Like that guy got killed in front of like 50 people, and obviously we don't know what happened. But do you see that as an issue in the community, or like?
Yeah, here's the thing: is that you're only snitching, whether you're in that life or not, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're only snitching is if you are trying to, protect your own butt on something. If you are going to the law enforcement and telling law enforcement what you saw, whatever it is, because of what somebody else did, you're not snitching. You're being a concerned citizen.
Exactly.
You are being a stand-up and productive citizen because you don't want whatever just happened in front of you for you to be next.
Exactly.
You could have, whomever else was in that room at that time when Takeoff, got killed. And I don't want to go too far into that because I did not follow that story enough. But there was really no difference from whatever happened to Takeoff in that facility where he was at that particular time to what we have seen in our own backyard over the last multiple years. Once those rounds from a weapon leaves that gun, it has nobody's name on it. Bullet, the type of round that may be used or whatever the case may be, has all kind of opportunity to go through and hit somebody else, ricochet off somebody else, or just simply miss and hit somebody else. It's going to hit somebody or it's going to hit something. And at the end of the day, it's going to have some form of a negative impact on that particular situation at that particular time. So when it kind of comes to these old head rappers that you're speaking of, and them talking about that they're trying to explain snitching or whatever the case may be, that's just a cop-out. And I would tell any one of them, that would be sitting here or I'd be standing in front of them. That's a cop-out, and they're just using that as some type of an excuse for whatever their reason is, But at the end of the day, we still have babies out here. We still have grandmothers out here. We still have young people out here. We have family and friends and stuff that are out here that are dying on our streets throughout our country on any given day. And it needs to stop. And one of the main reasons, one of the main ways that is going to stop is when the community get involved and stop using things as an excuse, as if, if I say something, then I'm snitching. No, you're not snitching. Again, you're being that positive, outstanding citizen to stand up and talk about what it is. And you're actually going to empower and enhance and educate your neighbor and other individuals in your community that's then also going to be willing to stand up and say what they see or what they saw in the next situation. And this is how you become like this here instead of staying like this here, right? You done got my blood pressure up today.
That's what I was looking for.
You done got my blood pressure up today.
Add something to that, please, because I know about that whole situation. But let me add this: what people are not paying attention to. And thank you so much for bringing that up, because it's something that, regardless to what we was talking about, trust me, that topic that you said, now you got a whole bunch of people's attention. Now they're paying attention. They might not have been really paying attention to what we've been saying from the beginning of this show. But just by you just saying that young brother, the rapper from the Migos, Takeoff name, there's a whole bunch of people now about to chime in.
Absolutely.
They're about to chime in. Just because you said that, okay, I want to hear what they about to say about Takeoff, okay? Which I'm not finna go into no whole bunch of stuff about Takeoff, because I'm finna say this. This is what I'm about to say. Is I watched the whole thing, all the YouTube video, all the Facebook. I was really more paying attention to the Facebook posts here in Minnesota, in the Twin Cities. How the pages were full, Brother Beaks, Brother Joe, of Takeoff posts about Takeoff. This young rapper from Atlanta, not from Minnesota, You understand me? The Twin Cities, but from Atlanta. I mean, just tons of posts every day. People talking about Takeoff, or what happened to Takeoff. And me, being the grandparent of an innocent 6-year-old child that was murdered, I had some problems. Like, I didn't see all of these posts of a little child, 6-year-old child that was killed right in your city. I seen people posting all day long, back to back, just hundreds of comments and posts about this brother in there. And my condolences to his family and what happened. Now, that's kind of then moved on a little bit about what happened with Takeoff. And so they've had his funeral and all of that. So if you notice, a couple days ago, y'all listen, and some people didn't even notice. So about maybe 3 days ago, in Virginia, there was 3 college students, star football players who were murdered.
They're on a bus, right?
Yes, murdered on a bus, right? 3 college. Now, we are looking forward to our kids go to high school, graduate from high school, go to college, maybe get a degree in business or whatever, just to do something positive. This is how things supposed to go for a young man or young woman. Am I right?
Absolutely.
So these young men were in college and were murdered on the bus. I don't know the situation and none of that, but they were murdered. Cold-bloodedly murdered, okay? Now, mind you, where I work at, doing security, when the young brother Takeoff was killed, there was people coming in my job telling me about it. This is one young man, okay? Now, mind you, I'm going to back up. When my granddaughter and 3 other children were shot and I was working, people wasn't coming in my job telling me about what happened to them. Nobody wanted to talk about it. So yesterday, I waited from the time 6 in the morning to 2 o'clock working to see if one person would come in my job and tell me that 3 college students, 3 star football players, black football players, got murdered, right? Not one person said anything, not mentioning from 6 in the morning to 2 till I got off. So today I went to work again and said, okay, let me see if it happens again. Not one person mentioned it at all.
And it ain't gonna happen.
So it's like, now, and I gotta say this. Now, just think, if that would have been some young white kid who shot those 3 basketball players, it would be all over the news. It would be the talk. Everybody be talking. It'd be all over Facebook. Black Lives Matter would be over there protesting. But it was a young black ex-football player who killed them. And nobody wants to talk about it. And nobody's saying nothing. You ain't heard nothing about it.
Yeah, they pick
all.
and choose. They pick and choose.
And so, like I said, my condolence goes out to Takeoff. I just think that we as a people, man, need to pay attention to what's going on where we live and stop pushing stuff up under the table. What happens where we live. We're really quick to jump on something and be concerned about it and voice about it that happens somewhere else. Y'all, are y'all understanding me? Instead of what's happening to our kids and our families right here in our own cities.
Absolutely.